Now bring in France 24's senior reporter Catherine Norris-Trent. Catherine, good to see you.
Hi.
How is Russia's advance progressing in the east? Have they managed to take control of the Donbas region?
Well, they haven't managed to take control of the whole of the Donbas region by any means. They're building on those gains from 2014, where they took those areas in the Donetsk and Luhansk regions. They, before February 24th, controlled around 30% of the Donbas. They've been pushing forwards from there, especially in recent weeks when Russia's invasion has focused on eastern Ukraine. And even Putin at one point said that his attention was now turning to the Donbas. So we've heard a lot about the fighting in Mariupol, and while that is continuing there in and around the Azovstal complex there, with reports of Russian troops inside the complex and making progress there against the last remaining Ukrainian soldiers. It's also been continuing in the east around that front line there in the Donbas, particularly in the Luhansk region. We know that yesterday the Ukrainian army actually withdrew from the town of Popasna, which had been full of trenches, it had been fortified, and they've pulled back from there. So that is a gain for the Russian forces at the moment, it seems. But to put this in perspective, it took them around 8 weeks to advance 3 kilometers to take Popasna there. So it is very significant on the map because it kind of further closes a circle. They're encircling territory around Severodonetsk, that town there, which is becoming increasingly cut off from the rest of the world. Main supply routes and roads in the region are becoming impracticable because the Russian forces are advancing slowly in these areas. And so if this goes on, slow war of attrition, trench warfare, as well as more new technology, drones and things like that.
In Vladimir Putin's speech today earlier in Moscow, he didn't announce any major victory in Ukraine. He didn't announce a shift in strategy, and he didn't officially declare war in Ukraine. Does this mean he's in it for the long haul?
It certainly looks like Russia is in this for the long haul, not only because the fighting there is making slow progress, but if you look at what's happening in some of the areas of southern Ukraine, which Russian forces have taken recently since the 24th of February, and what's going on there, it certainly makes you think they're in it for the long haul. We're looking at pictures from occupied Mariupol. There were similar pictures from Kakhovka, which is in the Kherson region, and they've been holding these Russian-style Victory Day parades and events inside these occupied territories. Now, of course, people there, we're getting these pictures from occupied territory, and there are very strict conditions on the press and people's freedom of movement. And that there are other bombed out places that's actually further in the east of Ukraine. But they've been holding these Victory Day parades, and there's been talk in the past of them holding referenda in places like Kherson or in parts of the Donbas, which they've occupied. There you see the Russian flags which are being brandished, and flags there of the separatist territories, the Russian-backed separatist territories in Donetsk and Luhansk, of people there laying down those flowers. Will they hold referenda to decide? We can question, of course, the legitimacy of those, whether they will join Russia or just be directly incorporated into the Russian Federation. But it certainly seems there in the territory Russia has taken there in the south and the east that they want to hold this, and they're preparing to hold it for the long term if they can.
Thank you very much.